Hello, middle school health classes. This is Miss McCaslin again, and this is your second lesson on human sexuality. So this is for our Monday, Tuesday classes. So here's a little agenda that you can read on your own, and there's going to be an exit ticket at the end of this lesson today. So we want to make sure that we finish the notes from last class. So they are under week 7, day 13 in Google Classroom. So go ahead and open those up, and you can scroll down to part B or a little bit below that, okay? All right, so we're gonna make sure that we definitely treat others with respect during this lesson and all health lessons, but particularly this one. So again, the classroom rules: asking, passing, protecting, participating, agree to disagree, and stay open-minded. So make sure that you're staying open-minded to just learn these new things. You don't necessarily have to agree with everything, but you should learn them so that you know for when you grow up and for right now. All right, so sexuality, these are our 5 points that all are about sexuality. Sexuality isn't just about having sex. So today we're going to talk about this bullet point here, the third one. They're people's feelings of attraction towards each other, okay? And just as a little review, biological sex is binary, male or female. Intersex is when sorry, my mind just blanked out. Intersex is when you could be born with partial male parts and partial female parts, okay? So it's hard for the doctor to tell if you are a male or a female when you're born, okay? And so intersex babies are actually born 1 in every 1,500 births, okay? And remember, we talked about Max back last class, who was born with both parts, but then the doctors decided that he should be a girl, and then he grew up his whole life feeling like a boy, okay? Because they made the decision a little too early. So now we make that decision much later when the child can actually decide on their own and speak about it. So here are some people who were born intersex, and they basically look the same as everybody else. And then gender is non-binary, so there's more than 2 options: boy, girl, transgender, or some other identity that they choose. Cisgender is when your biological sex on the outside matches how you feel on the inside, okay? And then transgender is when your biological sex on the outside does not match how you feel on the inside. So like if I felt like I was a boy when I closed my eyes, then I would be transgender. But I am cisgender because when I close my eyes, I still feel like a girl. I am a female, and then I close my eyes and I still feel like a girl. So mine match. So does it matter if someone is intersex, cisgender, or transgender? No, it doesn't. You don't know, like if I didn't tell you that I was cisgender, you wouldn't know. I could possibly be intersex, I could be cisgender, or I could be transgender. You wouldn't know. And it really wouldn't matter, right? Like it wouldn't matter unless you were like marrying the person or trying to have kids with someone. Then it matters. You need to ask those questions and be honest with each other. But like for the general public, we don't need to know who's intersex, who's cisgender, and who's transgender. It doesn't make any difference, right? All right, and can you always tell if someone is intersex, cisgender, or transgender? No, just said that. And then this is just a little reminder that this is someone who's transgender, Jamie Rains. This is what he looks like now, and this is what he used to look like. And this is a transgender teen that we talked about last week or last class named Jazz. Jazz was born a boy or born as male, and then she transitioned to become female because she did not feel like she was a boy. And at the very end of this, you can go back and you can listen to the book that she wrote about being transgender. We might do that in class, so you should go back. If you're at home watching this, you should go back and watch it. And here are some other people that are transgender that were born. Isis and Laverne Cox were both born male, and they transitioned to female. And then Balian was born female, and then he transitioned to male. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is gender expression. And you can see in these pictures beforehand Laverne and Isis express themselves as female by their makeup and their hair and their clothing and the way that they carry themselves. And Balian expresses himself as a male or as a boy, okay? You can tell by his outfit and the way he's standing and his facial hair. He expresses himself as male. So gender expression can include anything that you want. Somebody brought up in class last week that like he saw a video once where a boy was wearing girls' makeup. So like he's still a boy, but he just expresses himself as a girl, which is fine to do. It's a little confusing, but that's okay. So these are all different types of gender expression for girls or for females. No, gender would be girls, sorry, girl or woman. And then this is gender expression, typical gender expression for males, okay? Or sorry, for boys, keep saying it wrong, okay? And so you can express yourself however you want. I can still be a girl and express myself as a boy, it doesn't matter. Sexual orientation, however, is a little different. This has to do with who we like. So who we're attracted to, who we're physically attracted to, who we're romantically attracted to, emotionally attracted to, who we want to be with, okay? So this video is 2 minutes long, and this explains what sexual orientation is. So this is pretty helpful, especially if you don't know. So we'll watch this together.
I never heard of this band. What kind of music do they do? Rock? So what is it, pop? So they do techno, progressive Balkan with a touch of metal? Never heard of that genre. Sexual orientation describes who you are attracted to, may fall in love with, and may have a sexual relationship with. Everyone has a sexual orientation, and there are different words to describe different sexual orientations. Many people are familiar with terms like heterosexual, gay, lesbian, and bisexual. But those aren't the only sexual orientations out there. For example, some people identify as pansexual, which means they are attracted to people of all genders. Many pansexual people feel that gender has little to do with their attractions. In other words, they are attracted to a person, not to that person's gender. Some people are asexual, sometimes called ace. Asexual people feel little or no sexual attraction to other people and have little or no interest in having sex or engaging in sexual behaviors. Many asexual people still feel romantic attraction. They feel love and affection, but may not feel sexual attraction. Demisexual people only feel sexual attraction when they have a strong romantic or emotional connection with a person. These are just some of the labels people use to describe their sexual orientation. Some people don't like to use labels at all, and that's okay too. There are many other terms out there to describe the full, diverse spectrum of human beings, and that's a beautiful thing. Till next time, don't forget to visit me at amaze.org or go to my YouTube channel to watch more.
Okay, so those are all the different types.
I never heard of this band.
Sorry. Those are all the types of different sexual orientations, and we'll just go over them again really quickly. So heterosexual is when you're attracted to the opposite gender, or if you're straight, that's another word for it. Homosexual, another name for homosexual would be gay or lesbian, when someone is attracted to the same gender as them. Bisexual is when you're usually attracted to males and females, so both, we just, say both genders, but it means male or female. Or man or woman, sorry. And then pansexual means that you're attracted to all and any genders. So like male, boy, girl, man, woman, or transgender or something else, okay? Any other gender. Asexual just means that you're not really attracted to anybody sexually, but you can still build relationships and friendships and be emotionally close to people, okay? So it's totally fine and normal to be any of these 5. Okay, so I like to ask the kids this question, and you can just think about it on your own if you're watching this by yourself. Do most people know what their sexual orientation is, who they like, by the time they are 13 years old? And the answer is maybe. So it's not definitely yes and it's not definitely no. Some people know really early and some people don't decide until much later, like late teens, 20s, 30s. It's different for everybody. So if you don't know right now, it's okay. Does the way parents raise their children determine whether a child is heterosexual, lesbian, or gay, or bisexual? And the answer is no. Okay, so this is already biologically predetermined. It's already in your brain and in your genes when you're born. Okay, so this isn't something that you can change. And it's not something that your parents can like make you change or can force you to change. So this is heavily, heavily debated in the world today. But what you need to do is, if you have an opinion about this, you also should back it up with facts. So the first thing that you can do is go to this website, go to this PowerPoint or this slideshow in Google Classroom, click on this website and read the article, and then look up more information. And if you would like help looking up more information, I'd be happy to share it with you. There's no proven research that says that people can successfully and permanently change their sexual orientation. Okay, so if you can find proven research about that, I would love to see it. Okay. You are fine just the way that you are, no matter who you're attracted to. Here's another great video. This is 2.5 minutes long about coming out.
Hey bro, what's up?
I'm okay. I guess I feel a little stressed. I've been thinking a lot about something. I don't really know how to talk about it.
You can always talk to me, Jordan, anytime, anywhere. I'm your cousin and I'll always look out for you. It's called unconditional love, dude.
Thanks, Frankie. I'm so glad you're always there for me. See, I've been feeling funny lately because of a couple crushes I have on different people.
Yeah, so that's normal. We all have crushes. It's part of feeling attracted to people. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, my crushes, well, they've been on other boys.
Hey, Jordan, that's totally fine. People are attracted to who they're attracted to, and it doesn't matter if it's someone of the same gender or a different gender. It's all normal, and you're allowed to feel exactly how you feel. I'm so glad you trust me enough to come out to me.
What does that mean? I've heard people talk about coming out of the closet, but I don't know what closet they're talking about. Do I have to come out?
Coming out is when someone who's gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender decides to tell other people. You get to make that choice, Jordan. No one can force you to come out. The main point is that you get to decide when and how you want to share your feelings. You are the person, the only person, who gets to define your own sexual orientation. We all have that right.
Thanks, Frankie. That's helpful to hear.
You bet, buddy. This kind of thing takes time to understand, and it's totally okay if you're still not sure how you feel. Some people use different words to describe their sexual orientation at different times in their lives. It's all normal.
I guess what I'm really nervous about is how my mom and dad might react. I'm scared they'll be mad.
Your mom and dad are pretty cool, and I know they'll love you no matter what. But again, you don't have to rush telling them. You can take your time.
Yeah, my friend Anna told her parents that she's bisexual, and they threatened to kick her out of the house. It was awful.
Wow, that's really terrible. I'm sorry that happened to her. It's true that not everyone is as accepting as they should be. Some people have to decide carefully when and who they come out to. It's also a good idea to make a plan for what to do if coming out doesn't go well, especially with your parents. Like making arrangements to stay with a friend or family member until things calm down. You know, you're always welcome to stay at my house. But like I said, I'm always here for you. Anytime, anywhere.
Thanks, Frankie. Now, can I tell you something else?
Sure, what is it?
I made the junior varsity basketball team.
Right on, bro.
Okay.
Hey, bro, what's up?
Oops. Sorry. That's one of my favorite videos. I love that one. So just real quick, LGBTQ. There is a pride club at our school that is supportive of LGBTQ people who identify with this acronym. And you can also be a part of the Pride Club. Like I was a part of Pride Club in college, and I am going to become a part of the Pride Club here at school. And it also doesn't mean that you have to fit into any of these categories. You can also be an ally. So LGBT or LGBTQ stands for usually sexual orientations, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or someone who is questioning or queer. Queer means that there's like not one specific term that they have about themselves. for their sexual orientation. So people like to call themselves queer sometimes. Queer used to be a derogatory word that was mean, but now it's more of a nicer word. But you still have to be careful of how you use it. So you should ask someone before you call them queer, or you should let them say it first about themselves. So we wouldn't use the word queer to like put down someone, because that would be mean. And so an ally, if you're going to be an LGBTQ ally, which is what I am, that means that you are someone who is straight or heterosexual, but you support anyone in this group. Okay? So you have friends, family, loved ones, community members who you know are either LGBT or Q, and you want them to know that you love them and you support them. Okay? So you don't have to be one of those letters in order to be in the group. All right, and just a little quick note, transgender is not a sexual orientation, it's a gender identity, okay? So people who are transgender are usually like grouped in this group just because they're somebody who like doesn't necessarily call themselves straight. So that's the only one that's just a little confusing. All right, so quick example of, let's do a couple of questions here. We have an 11th grade girl who has only been in relationships with other girls since 8th grade. She's always identified as a lesbian, and she just met and fell in love with a guy who she is really attracted to, and now they're in a relationship. She says she does not find other guys attractive and still finds girls attractive. How does she identify? So basically, what is her sexual orientation? And the answer is, we're not sure. We don't know. You have to ask her, but you wouldn't just like come out and ask her. You would talk to her if she were your friend, and you would ask her, get to know her first. So her orientation is mostly girls. Her behavior just is with the one guy, but her identity, her orientation identity, is whatever she decides it is. Okay? She may call herself a lesbian because she's still attracted to most girls. She may call herself bisexual because she likes guys and girls. Or she may say that she's questioning or queer since the labels might not fit her. Okay? Or she could be something else altogether and it doesn't matter. So let's try this again. Example number 2. We have a 9th grade guy, has only ever been attracted to and made out with girls. He has never had any kind of sex with anyone though. He just met and fell in love with another guy, and now they are in a relationship. They also date other people, and both of them are only dating guys. So how does he identify? What is his sexual orientation? Same trick question. You have to ask him, okay? Again, only if you're friends with him. You don't just go up to people and ask them their sexual orientation. That's not very, it's like a little bit rude, or it could be a little bit rude. So his orientation is currently guys, even though in the past he was with girls. His current behavior is one guy, but his identity, his sexual orientation identity, is whatever he decides it is. Okay, so he might call himself gay, he may call himself bisexual, or he may be queer or questioning, or something totally different. It's whatever he wants. So you are in control of your sexual orientation, nobody else. Nobody else can tell you what you are. The bottom line is that it is every person's right to identify however they wish, okay? This is true. Second bottom line, other people need to respect who that person is, even if that person's identity does not make any sense to them. So if those 2 examples didn't make any sense to you and you want to put the label on it, you can't. You have to respect the person's decision to identify however they want to, okay? So we just need to leave people alone and just let them live their lives, all right? Even if it doesn't make sense to you. And my third bottom line, no matter who you're attracted to or sexual with, you have a responsibility to both you and your partner to communicate about a healthy relationship and practice safe sex in order to stay healthy. And we're going to be talking more about that. You have to be practicing safe sexual activity as well. So even if you're not having sex, like sexual intercourse, you still have to be practicing safe sexual activity, which is what we'll talk about in subsequent lessons. So here are some websites to go to if you or someone you know is struggling with gender identity or sexual orientation, you want to learn more. And here are some free hotlines that you can call if you want to anonymously talk to somebody. Okay, and then make sure you do your exit ticket. 16 questions, and you don't have to watch any of the videos if you've already watched this video, and if you've already watched the day 13 video. Okay. All right. That is all. Please email me if you have any questions. I love questions, especially about this stuff. You guys ask great questions. See you later.